Good morning, everybody. Kathy Hawk here, starting another week with a really fun subject for you to contemplate, to be contemplative this week about the subject called dedication. Now, as you know, it's going to key in what I am talking about today. Is going to key in later to Gary's blog post, which is going to come up on Friday. So we start on Mondays, we end on Fridays with a kind of a summary of our thoughts, and we talk. The subject of his, or the title he put on it at the time he wrote it, was "I Can't Even Do a 90-Minute Challenge." Now, you know, Gary, right? He's puts a lot of humor into the thoughts that we start with on Monday. So you'll enjoy it on Friday. So that said, what I wanted to talk about today is dedication. That's what I put in the title. Now, I'm trying my best to get a really easy way for you to take a look at dedication, because it is, if you, all of you that are interested in where in the body we hold our thoughts, on the Clarity Attention Guide, take a look at this green line. I know it's hard to read the words, but don't worry about it. I'll read them for you. Because it's the color implication that I want you to think about. So green on the Clarity Attention chart represents the area in your body called the heart. Now, when I first was learning about chakras and where we hold thoughts in our body and making that work with a tool that you could use every single day to find out where your thoughts are and get them back into the healthiest place if for any reason they might have slipped into a less positive, or what we call under the line. So when I first was studying the Eastern chakra system, I was like, I wonder why they have the heart in green. Because in Western, the Western side of what I'm going to say graphics or color implication, the heart is always drawn as red. That's how you see it. Valentine's Day, all print venues and what have you. It's usually red. But in the Eastern chakra system, it is green. And I love it that way because to me, green says go. So if you're dedicated to something in your life, you go for it no matter what. Think of the heart language that we talk about. We talk about if it's a half-hearted effort, then it says, you get that, that whatever they're describing, they're not in it 100%. They have not dedicated themselves to that part of a pattern that they've got. Or how about when they say wholeheartedly? I wholeheartedly believe in something. So the language of the heart comes in with green or go, forward movement. And the secret sauce in clarity is making sure that what you're choosing to dedicate yourself to is something that you are lights on and passionate about. So what I want you to think about this week, and journal it in your journals, in your notes, is what have you really dedicated yourself to? When you think back for your whole life, what are some common threads that are important for you to understand? And when you look back, so what have I been dedicated to? Well, here I am talking to you about how to hold positivity and thoughts and be in the light. And when I think about that, I've been like that since a little girl. I've always been the one who was more on the side of optimism than pessimism. I can't even say it. I was going to say pesticides, but that's probably true too. But always more optimistic than pessimistic. And what studies have said is that Optimism can be a learned behavior. I seem to have come by it naturally. I don't know, my parents were very optimistic, but nonetheless, we know that you can learn it by focusing your thoughts on more of what worked, what we call above the line, than less of what didn't work. So optimism, green, go for it. What are you dedicated to? Those are what I want you to think about. So even when I was very young, my parents always I would hear them say things to their friends. Well, yes, Kathy, she always knows how to turn, lemons into lemonade, that sort of a construct. So think about that. Think about what people have said about you and what you've said about yourself, and take a look at what you've been dedicated to, and then let me know. I would love to be always in conversation with each and every one of you about the topics that we talk about every week. It is important to me. It nourishes my heart. So you all know how to get hold of me, but if not, it's Kathy Hawk, CathyHawk at getclarity.com. So I'd love to see your notes about dedication and what over the years has been the thematic, wholehearted, your thoughts for dedication. So I'm going to end the broadcast now.